Welcome to the world of biology through Jaguar classes from Jagran Public School, Noida. In today's this video lecture of class 11th, I am continuing with the unit Diversity in the Living World, in which we are learning the chapter 4, and in this chapter 4 Kingdom Animalia, today we will cover the topics related with characteristics of subphylum Vertebrata and superclass Agnatha and class Cyclostomata, which is coming under the superclass Agnatha. We will also talk about the another division of this subphylum Vertebrata, that is division Gnathostomata. We will learn the characteristic feature of superclass Pisces and classes Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes under this superclass Pisces. After today's class, the learning outcomes that we are expecting to be achieved by you are knowledge based learning outcomes, in which you will be able to know characteristics of subphylum Vertebrata, and you will also be able to draw an outline classification of subphylum Vertebrata to study it in a convenient manner. In skill based learning outcomes, you would be able to compare and differentiate between superclass Agnatha and Gnathostomata with specific features present in them, and critically analyze the basis of classification of subphylum Vertebrata into different divisions and superclasses. The competencies after today's class that we are expecting to be developed among the students: you will be able to apply collaborative approach, critical thinking and problem solving, communication and analytical skills to solve the problems related with the topics that we will cover in today's class, and you can also relate these topics with your practical life also. Now let's start with our today's class. In today's class, we will continue with the phylum Chordata, and in phylum Chordata, today we will focus on the class Vertebrata. And the topic that we will cover in our today's class: characteristics of subphylum Vertebrata, superclass Agnatha and class Cyclostomata, division Gnathostomata, superclass Pisces and classes Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes coming under the superclass Pisces. Now, in first slide, we will share the salient features of subphylum Vertebrata, on the basis of which we can identify the vertebrates in the phylum Chordata. The central nervous system CNS consists of brain protected by cranium and spinal cord. Notochord is present only during embryonic stage and is replaced by the vertebral column in later on stages. Respiration is through gills, lungs and skin. Circulation is closed type in this group of organisms and animals. Heart is muscular and 2, 3 or 4 chambered. Paired limbs or fins are present in some of the vertebrates. Endoskeleton and hairy, scaly or feathery exoskeleton are present in these animals. Animals show separate sexes or sexual dimorphism is seen in them. Hormone secreting endocrine glands are present in these animals, and vertebrata are classified further into Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Now, in this chart, you will be able to understand the classification of subphylum Vertebrata. In this subphylum Vertebrata, there are two divisions: One is agnatha and another is gnathostomata. What is the point of difference between these two divisions? The division agnatha has only one living class, cyclostomata, and agnatha means these are the animals which are without jaws, or we can say that these are known as jawless vertebrates. And in gnathostomata, there are jaw present, upper jaw and lower jaw. And division gnathostomata has six superclasses: Pisces, which include chondrichthyes and osteichthyes, amphibia, reptilia, aves, and mammalia. Division agnatha. As I have told you, characteristic of this class, the important characteristic or the special characteristic is jawless vertebrates. These are known as jawless vertebrates. Like one of the example is given here, sea lamprey. Circular mouth bound by suctorial funnel with horny teeth. This is one of the important characteristic feature of this group. Single median nostril and median fin is present in that. Endoskeleton is cartilaginous. Two-chambered heart. Lateral line sense organs are present there. Respiration by pairs of internal gills within pouches. Development includes ammoset larva. Cold-blooded, and most are parasites on fishes. Examples: sea lampreys and hagfishes are coming in this group of animals. Now come to know about the detailed classification of division Gnathostomata. To study it in a convenient manner, Gnathostomata is further divided into two superclasses. One is Pisces and another is known as Tetrapoda. In Pisces, there are in Pisces superclass there are two classes: Chondrichthyes means cartilaginous fishes and Osteichthyes in which bony fishes are coming. And in tetrapods, tetra means four, pods means legs, means all the four classes belonging to this superclass tetrapoda having four legs for their locomotion. Like in first class, amphibia, reptilia, aves, and mammalia. Now, first we will share here the characteristics of chondrichthyes or cartilaginous fishes as one of the class of superclass Pisces. In this group of Pisces, all animals are marine and have a cartilaginous endoskeleton and exoskeleton of the dermal placoid scales. Locomotion through paired pelvic and pectoral and unpaired fins. Branchial respiration through gills not covered by the operculum. Two-chambered heart is present in them. Nervous system with 10 pairs of cranial nerves is there. Internal ear and lateral line sense organs are also present there. And excretion with the help of kidneys, fishes are cold-blooded. And that means these animals are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate and show sexual dimorphism. Examples are scoliodon, shark, stingray, and electric ray. Here you can see the picture of stingray. In next class of this superclass Pisces, that is osteichthyes or bony fishes are coming. The important characteristic feature of this class: marine or freshwater fishes with bony endoskeletons are coming in this class, and exoskeleton made up of cycloid, ganoid, and ctenoid scales. Branchial respiration through gills covered by the operculum. Here you can see that gills are not exposed, these are covered by a flap like structure known as operculum. Swim bladder is present in them to maintain the buoyancy, and heart is two-chambered. Nervous system with 10 pairs of cranial nerves, well developed internal ear and lateral line sense organs are present in them. Ammonotelic animals with opisthonephric kidneys. Sexes are separate. Males do not have claspers. Examples: Rohu and Katla fishes are coming in this group of Pisces. Examples of chondrichthyes. Now, here are the four examples of cartilaginous fishes. Uh, Dogfish, dog-like mouth is a special characteristic on the basis of which that common name is given to this fish, dogfish. Electric ray, due to the presence of an electric organ as a defense system in them, these are known as electric ray. Stingray, because one poisonous sting as a defense system is present in them to protect them from their enemies. Sawfish, you can see here sawfish with the help of which they can uh, saw like jaws are present there, due to which they are known as sawfish. Examples of osteichthyes, you can see here four examples of bony fishes. Uh, Bombay duck, that is one of the bony fish. Remora and seahorse, like a horse-like structure. This is known as seahorse in common name. And Ilsa is, these are the four varieties of osteichthyes or bony fishes that you can see here in this picture. Now have a quick recap of today's class, in which we have shared the important characteristic feature of vertebrata phylum, subphylum vertebrata. Here are the main points that we have covered in this topic. Phylum Chordata is classified into Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. In vertebrates, the notochord is replaced with a vertebral column in adults, showing that all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Agnathans are jawless vertebrates and are mostly parasites on fishes. In Gnathostomata, the notochord is replaced with a vertebral column and jaws are present in them as upper and lower jaw in their important mouth parts. Chondrichthyes are cartilaginous fishes without an operculum, and a swim bladder is absent in them. The intestine has a scroll wall. There are two dorsal fins, the exoskeleton made up of placoid scales, while on the other side, uh, osteichthyes are bony fishes with an operculum and a swim bladder. There is a single dorsal fin. Males are always without claspers, and the intestine does not have a scroll wall in them, and the endoskeleton is mainly bony in these category of fishes. Now, here is a project or the home task or assignment that you can perform on division Gnathostomata. As a project, collect pictures with names of different bony fishes and cartilaginous fishes and neatly paste and label them according to their classification. Now, to understand today's class in a well manner, watch this video also, so that you can see the various characteristic feature and identifying features of the class vertebrata, specifically the superclass Pisces we are talking about in today's class.
Chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. Cartilaginous and bony fishes are two major classes of jawed fishes which are grouped in Gnathostomata. Chondrichthyes are also known as cartilaginous fish because of their cartilaginous endoskeleton. The most common examples found in this group are sharks, skates, and rays. Let's take a closer look at the shark to observe some of the characteristics found within this group. Externally, the shark has a streamlined body, having rough skin with minute placoid scales. The mouth is ventrally located. The fins are paired, but the caudal fin is asymmetrical, a trait known as being heterocercal. Sharks respire through 5 of 7 pairs of gill slits. Internally, sharks have an endoskeleton that is made of cartilage. The brain consists of large olfactory lobes, giving it a much more acute sense of smell. Unlike the human heart, which has 4 chambers, the shark's has only 2 chambers. Chondrichthyes are either oviparous, meaning they lay eggs, or oviviparous, meaning their eggs develop internally. Osteichthyes are also known as bony fish because of their bony endoskeleton. This group is the largest class of vertebrates, inhabiting both freshwater and marine environments. It can be subdivided into Actinopterygiae, or ray-finned fishes, and Sarcopterygiae, or lobed-finned fishes. The most common examples of osteichthyes include salmon, trout, and eel. Let's look at some common traits of Actinopterygiae. Externally, the body is streamlined and covered with scales. The mouth is terminal. The fins are paired and the tail fin has equal lobes, a trait known as being homocercal. A protective operculum encloses 4 pairs of gills. Internally, the endoskeleton is bony. The heart has 2 chambers. A special air bladder, known as a swim bladder, assists these fish in their swimming. Fertilization in bony fishes will be external. Summary: Chondrichthyes have cartilaginous endoskeletons, while osteichthyes have bony endoskeletons. Chondrichthyes inhabit marine environments and osteichthyes are found in both marine and freshwater environments. Chondrichthyes have gill slits and a heterocercal tail. Osteichthyes have gills covered with an operculum and a homocercal tail. A swim bladder is present in bony fishes.
With that, we have covered today's concept related with the chondrichthyes and osteichthyes as one of the important classes including in superclass Pisces. I hope that with that you will be able to understand the important characteristic feature of this superclass Pisces in the subphylum Vertebrata. And now I am finishing our today's class here. In next class we will cover up the next superclasses, that is tetrapoda.